What a crazy weekend we've had. And rising China tensions, too. This is a propaganda gift to them. There have been a whole lot of Hong Kong protests, which have been going on for months now. All of a sudden, President Trump revokes all the special permissions of Hong Kong. And guess what? We have our own protests. They're not just protests, they're riots. Worse than what was seen in Hong Kong. So China, our largest, I don't want to call them an adversary, but they're our largest tension partner, is now being gifted a propaganda ploy for their people and possibly the rest of the world. Now, let's not overstate that, but let's take a look at the markets. Markets opened up. What gives? What's going on? There's a lot of craziness going on in the world right now. We just had a crazy high intensity weekend, and we opened up and we stayed up and we kept rallying. So the protests, definitely a big reason for concern. There's an aggressive mix of things that are causing these to happen. Pent up racial discrimination and feelings of lack of fairness and oppression are being unleashed off of a single event. So it's a lot for the country to digest in a relative second, and for the markets to figure out. But the markets are still opening up. There's a lot of rage going on. There's a lot of destruction and damage going on. There's already a massive state tax bill that is being added to as we speak, which will lead to complications in the State Department. And people have already been calling for the states to declare bankruptcy. So a lot of concerns, and the market's still opening up. Interesting take, but I think it's okay for the market to open up. What are we buying in this market? Are we buying the mom and pop's nail salon that hasn't been open for months and just had their windows busted? No, we're buying the Target, and the Target got raided, the store got destroyed, but I'm sure they have pretty good insurance, and that's a single store, so it's not huge on their entire projections and entire state of being and their cash flow position, and the insurance should be helping them out. Now, if I owned an insurance company, I would not be happy right now. This is a very bad position to be in as an insurance company. You've already had a lot of catalysts. I don't know. The insurance stocks are down big. I'm not an insurance analyst. I don't own any of the insurance companies. But this is not good for the insurance companies. Market's opening up, and there's a lot of uncertainties. I don't think this is really a catalyst for the market downturn, but I think it is a catalyst to take our foot off the gas a little bit and to check ourselves. Are we really going to get back into this economic recovery so quickly, or are there a lot of people who are going to want to continue riding, who are going to say that there's a lot of issues wrong with the country and are going to work to address those issues? And are those issues going to be quick fixes in which we level the playing field and all of a sudden there's an increase in GDP? Or are those fixes going to be longer term? Is there going to be more rioting? Is there going to be more people choosing to wait on unemployment rather than go get a job? And if you ask me, I do think that there will be a relatively quick fix to these issues. Now, obviously, there's two sides to the issue. There's the racial issue, the racism, the stares on the street, so to speak, the prejudice going into the conversation, going into the interaction. That is a bigger issue. The other issue that I think will solve that issue rather quick is the economic disparity between black people and white people. And, Asians are higher up than black people, I've noticed. So let's talk it black versus everyone else. This is a more structural issue, okay? Government, they don't do anything right. They spend poorly. States have issues. No ventilators. Had to get ventilators quick. There's some things they do well. Make ventilators quick. Only in points of crises and not points of war. So there's a structural issue with black wages and black income and black assets and black spending and all of these things. And Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan just launched an initiative. He got some new head of diversity. Best bank in the world. They're getting involved with this racial issue, and I think that's the right approach. It's not going to be a government approach. The government can't do anything about this. They'll fail if they do anything about this. And it's Washington. What are they going to agree on? What approach is going to come out of Washington that we as a people are going to be happy about? No. We need companies with individual cultures, individual philosophies, and lots of attempts, lots of shots on the board. You know, with the government, we get one shot on the board. What if it misses? Companies with lots of shots on the board to figure out what needs to happen. Do they hire more employees? Do they change their approach to hiring? Are they going to be hiring people based on what university they went to? That seems like 1940s, 1980s kind of area. This is 2020. Information is all online. Lots of mentors out there. Seems like there's going to be a structural change to the system that's not going to come from government. It's going to come from companies and people. And it's going to have a lot to do with this whole college thing, this whole rich elite, I got money so I can pay the tuition so my kid goes to an elite university and gets the foot in the door and they live a rich life. That's the problem, folks. We want equal opportunity, not equal outcome, okay? Equal outcome's a bad thing. You'll be like Bernie Sanders. I think people waiting in line for food is a good thing. It's not a good thing, okay? People waiting in line for food is not a good thing. Equal outcome is not a good thing. Equal opportunity is the best thing ever, and we don't have it. I will admit we don't have it. I feel pretty opportune compared to somebody who lives, 3 miles up north or something. Maybe not up north, maybe east in Queens. It's not the same. I know lots of rich people. I can raise money to start a hedge fund pretty easily. They don't even know what a hedge fund is. So at the end of the day, I think it comes down to information. It comes down to something like financial literacy. And the wealthy black influencers I've been hearing from aren't calling for riots. They're not calling for mass destruction. They're not calling for destroying the United States, anarchy, Antifa. I saw a Antifa biker with a mic and a megaphone. Donald Trump is he's a danger to all people of America. Donald Trump is a danger to all people of America? I haven't experienced any danger. His African American, Hispanic American, and Asian American and female American unemployment were at their lowest levels in history before COVID. There's been no war, U.S.-China trade deal, not U.S.-China war, nothing from North Korea. So this notion that Donald Trump is a danger to America, it's false, based on the premise that he's been president for 4 years. There's been no danger to America because of Donald Trump. That's false. That's media and emotions and people who just don't follow the news deeply and don't know what's going on are the people that are telling you that. So equal opportunity, bigger emphasis on individual knowledge and making that knowledge accessible to whoever wants it, giving people, the desire to get on the financial literacy path, which happened in the Great Depression of all periods, very similar to now. There's a similar rise in communism pretty quick. Right now feels like a very compressed Great Depression. Massive unemployment spike, massive drop in business, massive problems. Rise in socialist populist movement. Looks like that's going to last for about a solid 5 days. Then we get back onto the long-term bull run and economic outlook in which people save wiser, invest wiser, and live wiser. And at the end of the day, the best way to live is a wise life. So hopefully we'll get out of the gutter of traditional college and wasted money and pissing away money like that, and get into the house and live a nice, prosperous life of the American dream of equal opportunity and not equal outcome. As for the markets, I'd be cautious. I'm remaining cautious. I'm adapting with the wind. I've got the sails up, but we'll take them off. We'll take them down. We'll turn the engine on if we need. If I need to pull out, if I need to start selling, getting lighter, realizing some gains, I will. But until I see something that really scares me, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to remain cautious. Just remain cautious and optimistic at the same time. You can do both. Now is the time for active management. Until tomorrow. Peace.